Welcome to Digimasters Shorts. We are your hosts, Adam Nagus
and Carly Wilson, delivering the latest scoop from the digital realm.
Workers at Google DeepMind in the UK have voted to unionize, citing concerns over the company's newly announced agreement with the US Pentagon. In a letter to management, employees requested recognition of two major unions to represent more than 1,000 UK-based staff. Organisers say the move was driven in part by fears that Google's artificial intelligence tools could be used in military conflicts, including the Iran war, and by broader tensions between the Defence Department and AI firms. One worker said the department is not a responsible partner, pointing to shifting geopolitical decisions and pressure on tech companies to provide AI for classified use. Employees also raised objections to Google's past and present contracts connected to Israel's military operations in Gaza, saying their technology should not contribute to harm. The push follows Google's decision last year to drop its pledge against developing militarized AI, a shift that intensified internal backlash. On Friday, the Pentagon confirmed agreements with 7 leading AI firms, including Google, to accelerate what it called an AI-first military strategy. Although Google's contract states its systems are not intended for domestic mass surveillance or autonomous weapons without oversight, the language is non-binding and allows lawful government use without company veto power. Union members say they are prepared to consider protests or research strikes if demands are not met, including the right to refuse work on projects they view as unethical. The action marks the first known unionization effort inside a major frontier AI lab, signalling growing resistance among tech workers to the military applications of artificial intelligence.
Colin, the robotics pioneer behind the Roomba vacuum, has unveiled a new kind of household companion, a 4-legged artificial intelligence-powered pet called the Familiar. The plush prototype, about the size of a bulldog, features touch-sensitive fur, expressive eyes, and animal-like sounds, designed to invite users to pet and interact with it. Angle says the robot is intentionally not modeled after any specific animal or human, aiming to avoid preconceived expectations. Unlike earlier robotic pets such as Sony's Aibo, the Familiar uses recent advances in generative AI to learn from conversations and adapt to a household's routines. It can understand speech through embedded audio sensors but does not talk back, instead responding with emotive sounds and movements. Angle stepped down from iRobot in 2024 after Amazon abandoned plans to acquire the company and soon after launched his new startup, Familiar Machines and Magic. He believes the technology now makes possible a lifelike, emotionally responsive machine that did not exist when Roomba debuted in 2002. The company is targeting older adults who may be reluctant to take on the responsibilities of caring for a live animal. Advisors from leading robotics research institutions say the key will be ensuring the robot feels cute and comforting rather than unsettling. Developers suggest the Familiar could eventually find roles in nursing homes and mental health support, offering companionship without the demands of a living pet. White House officials are exploring formal government oversight of new artificial intelligence models, according to a new report. US officials say the Trump administration is assembling an AI working group made up of technology executives and government representatives to shape potential review procedures before new AI systems reach the market. The group is expected to outline how models would be evaluated and which federal agencies would be responsible for oversight. The proposal was reportedly discussed at a recent White House meeting attended by representatives from Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. Officials are considering assigning oversight authority to agencies such as the National Security Agency, the Office of the National Cyber Director, or the Director of National Intelligence. Some have also suggested reviving the Biden-era Center for AI Standards and Innovation to manage regulatory coordination. The effort appears influenced in part by the United Kingdom's model, which distributes AI oversight across existing government bodies. The discussions signal a shift for the administration, which previously promoted a lighter regulatory approach to artificial intelligence. Earlier policy plans rolled back federal oversight efforts and sought to limit state-level AI regulation, including a proposed 10-year moratorium on state action. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, a Trump appointee, has also publicly supported a limited regulatory framework for the rapidly evolving technology.
Elon Musk sought a potential settlement with OpenAI just 2 days before his high-stakes trial against the company began, according to a new court filing. OpenAI says Musk messaged President Greg Brockman on April 25th to gauge interest in a settlement ahead of the federal trial in Oakland. When Brockman suggested both sides drop their claims, Musk allegedly responded with a warning that by the end of the week, Brockman and CEO Sam Altman would be the most hated men in America. Musk has sued OpenAI and its leaders, claiming they breached a charitable trust by shifting from a non-profit to a for-profit structure and unjustly enriching themselves. He argues he was deceived into donating to what he believed would remain a non-profit venture, accusing executives of stealing a charity. OpenAI counters that Musk himself supported a for-profit model and is now targeting the company as a competitor after losing control and later founding his own AI firm, xAI. Company attorneys say Musk's settlement outreach demonstrates bias and an effort to undermine a rival, though the judge declined to admit the exchange as evidence during testimony. In court, OpenAI presented materials it claims show Musk pushed for forming a corporation, while Musk's team introduced messages in which he described the company's valuation after Microsoft's investment as a bait and switch. Altman, Brockman, and other prominent tech figures are expected to testify as the closely watched trial continues.
Thank you for listening to today's AI and Tech News Podcast summary. Please do leave us a comment, and for additional feedback, please email us at podcast@digimasters.co.uk. You can now follow us on Instagram and Threads by searching for @Digimaster Shorts or search for Digimasters on LinkedIn. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, and don't forget to follow or subscribe.